What if I told you that eating for PCOS really doesn't have to be complicated? And it also doesn't have to involve plain chicken with steamed broccoli or really boring salads. Just real food that actually tastes good and keeps your blood sugars in check and gives you stable energy all week long. Today, I'm gonna show you my full PCOS meal prep, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack, and I'm gonna talk about why each one works really well for PCOS. But first, I'm Alyssa, I'm a registered dietitian, and I specialize in PCOS, or now called PMOS, and I also have this condition myself. So everything I share here in this video and on my channel is both evidence-based and things that I actually use in my real life. If you're new here, welcome. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future videos, and let's get into the meal prep. Now, before we even talk about the recipes, it's important to say that meal prep for PCOS is gonna look a little different than somebody who doesn't have PCOS. It's not just about saving time throughout the week, although that's a huge bonus, but it's more so about setting yourself up to eat in a way that keeps your blood sugar levels balanced throughout the entire week. When your meals already have that balance of protein, fiber, and healthy fats going on, you're doing so much already to reduce cravings, improve your energy, and support your hormones to regulate and reduce those annoying PCOS symptoms. And you don't even have to be thinking about it every time you open the fridge, so that's really the purpose and intention behind today's meal prep. So here's what we're gonna be prepping today. For breakfast, we're gonna be making high protein baked oats, and these taste more like banana bread than oats, so if you're not an oats fan, that's okay, because it really doesn't taste like oatmeal at all. For lunch, we're gonna be making a high protein pasta salad that has over 30 grams of protein per serving. To make my dinners a little bit easier this week, I'm gonna be making a super simple Southwest chicken in the crock pot, and then I can turn that into tacos, burrito bowls, or even nachos at any point during this week. And for snacks for the week, I'm gonna be making a big snack box that has pre-chopped veggies in it, whole grain crackers, and a 2-ingredient ranch dip that has over 10 grams of protein per serving. All 4 of these recipes are linked down below in the description, so make sure you grab the full recipes there. So I'm gonna be starting with the Crockpot Chicken first, since that's gonna take the longest to cook, and then we can make everything else once we get that crock pot started. So for the Southwest chicken, this is honestly one of my favorite meals to prep because it's super simple, but then you have enough protein for a few different dinners or lunches throughout the week. You only need 5 ingredients: chicken breast, salsa, corn, black beans, and taco seasoning, and you're just going to layer it in the crock pot with the chicken on the bottom, then the black beans and corn, followed by the salsa, and then the taco seasoning. Then you're just gonna give everything a really quick stir to make sure that taco seasoning kind of gets mixed into the other ingredients, and you're gonna cook it on high for either 2 to 3 hours or on low for 4 to 6 hours. And that's it. Now, the reason that I really love this recipe for PCOS is because it gives you over 30 grams of protein per serving, plus the beans and the corn add about 6 grams of fiber, and that protein and fiber combination is just really ideal for keeping blood sugar levels more stable, which keeps you feeling more full and satiated. And since it's such a versatile protein source, it doesn't feel like you're eating the same thing throughout the week. So you can use it one night for tacos, you could use it another day for burrito bowls, or you could top it on top of some bell peppers or nacho chips, or you could use it to make nachos another night. And I feel like that's really important for sticking to a healthy eating pattern long term, is having options and having variety and choices. All right, so now it's been a few hours. My Southwest crockpot chicken is cooked, so I'm just gonna take the chicken breasts out of here, shred them, so then I will have this protein ready to go for the week. The next recipe that I'm gonna be making is the high protein baked oats recipe. Now, a lot of baked oats recipes taste really great, but they really don't have enough protein or fat in them, so you end up eating them and you're hungry about an hour later. And that's really not super ideal when you have PCOS and you're trying to keep your blood sugar levels stable. So this version uses unflavored collagen peptides, which adds 10 grams of protein and doesn't change the taste or the texture at all. Or you can use any protein powder that you have on hand, they work just as well. So here's how you're gonna make it. You add all of your dry ingredients to a blender, so your oats, collagen peptides or protein powder, and a little bit of baking powder. And then you're just going to blend that for about 30 to 60 seconds until you get a fine, well-mixed powder. Then you're gonna be adding your wet ingredients right into the blender to blend it up again. So that's gonna be your eggs, your banana, and your milk. Then you're just gonna pour the batter into a baking dish. You can use one 8x8 dish or divide it into 2 individual dishes. You're gonna stir in your walnuts and dark chocolate chips. And then you're gonna bake at 350 degrees for about 20 minutes. And you'll know it's done when a toothpick comes out with just a few crumbs on it, but not wet. And when this comes out of the oven, I'm telling you, it smells amazing and it does taste just like banana bread. So you can eat it as is, or you can top it with berries and Greek yogurt or a drizzle of peanut butter or almond butter. And this is gonna stay fresh in your fridge for about 3 to 4 days, so you can prep it once and then enjoy it for most of the week. All right, for lunches for this week, I'm gonna be making a high protein pasta salad. And this one really is a crowd pleaser because it has over 30 grams of protein and it also has 11 grams of fiber in it, which is honestly just really impressive for a pasta salad. The key here is using a protein pasta. So that could be chickpea, it could be a whole wheat pasta, it could be a legume pasta. This time I used the Brahmi pasta, which is a mix of lupini beans and also whole wheat. And I just make sure to cook the pasta anytime I'm making pasta salad for 1 to 2 minutes less than the recommended cooking time, and it prevents it from getting mushy as it sits in the dressing and all the vegetables. So while the pasta cooked, I whipped up this quick salad dressing, and I love to use these shakers to make them in because then you can just use it also as a storage container. And I also chopped up the veggies. So then we're just gonna combine everything into a large bowl. So we have the cooked pasta, edamame, we have cucumber, cherry tomatoes, red bell pepper and red onion, some cooked rotisserie chicken, Parmesan cheese, and some basil. Then you're just gonna add your dressing right to that bowl and give it a good mix. So then you are left with this colorful, beautiful pasta salad that is high in protein, fiber, antioxidants, and also healthy fats thanks to the olive oil in that dressing. And you could just leave it right in here, or you can put it into individual containers, which is what I generally prefer to do. And last but not least, I'm gonna be prepping some snacks that I can grab and eat throughout the week. So I like to fill up this entire tray with whole grain crackers, different veggies that I can dip into a high protein ranch dip. So the ranch dip is just a combination of Greek yogurt and a ranch seasoning packet. It's super easy, but it's super delicious. And it also has added protein and probiotics thanks to the Greek yogurt. And I find that just having cut vegetables ready to go with the dip makes it so much easier to gravitate towards having more vegetables in my diet. So now that everything is prepped, I want to briefly touch on why these meals are so well suited for PCOS. Every single one of these meals has a really good balance of protein, fiber, and healthy fats, which is that winning combination that really keeps your blood sugar levels more stable, which leads to more energy, less crashes, and cravings. And if you're also trying to lose weight, this is really key because it's going to keep your insulin levels stable, which helps to promote fat loss and weight loss. I'd love to know which recipe you are most excited to try. Make sure to leave me a comment down below to let me know. And if you end up trying one of these recipes, I'd love to hear how it went and what you thought. All 4 recipes are linked down below in the description with the full ingredient list, substitutions, and also all of the nutrition info. And if you found this video helpful, make sure that you're subscribed so you never miss any PCOS related nutrition tips that I share. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you in the next one.